The Golden State Killer. How DNA technology caught a ghost after 40 years. He was a phantom, a shadow moving silently through the suburbs of California in the 1970s and 80s, breaking into homes, tying up couples, terrorizing families. More than 50 rapes, at least 13 murders. A faceless predator known by many names, the East Area Rapist, the original Night Stalker, and finally, the Golden State Killer. And then, just as suddenly as he appeared, he vanished. The attacks began in Sacramento. At first, they seemed like isolated incidents, a break-in here, a sexual assault there. But soon, a terrifying pattern emerged. He always struck at night. He would slip through windows or pry open doors, armed with a gun and rope. Victims were tied, gagged, and left helpless. He spoke in whispers, taunting his prey. Neighbors lived in fear. Families bought guard dogs, installed new locks, and even slept with guns nearby. But none of it stopped him. By the late 1970s, his crimes escalated to murder. Entire communities were paralyzed. He wasn't just a rapist anymore. He was a killer. Detectives were desperate. They poured thousands of hours into the case. Hundreds of suspects were brought in, questioned, and cleared. DNA evidence was collected from crime scenes. But in the 1970s and 80s, forensic science was still primitive. As years passed, his trail grew colder. The files grew thicker. Witnesses aged, and survivors waited for answers that never came. By the early 2000s, investigators feared the ghost had outsmarted everyone, protected by time and by science's limitations. It seemed the Golden State Killer had disappeared forever. Then came 2018. Forensic science had evolved, and with it came a radical new tool, genetic genealogy. Investigators took the Golden State Killer's DNA and uploaded it into a public genealogy database, the kind everyday people use to learn about their ancestry. At first, no direct matches, but then a family connection. Piece by piece, genealogists built a massive family tree. Hundreds of names, dozens of branches, and slowly, the branches narrowed until only one man fit the profile. James DeAngelo, a retired police officer, a husband, a father, living quietly in a Sacramento suburb, hiding in plain sight. Detectives placed him under surveillance. They waited, watching. And then, the chance came. They collected DNA from something he had thrown away. The results came back. A perfect match. After 4 decades, the phantom finally had a face. James DeAngelo, the man who once swore to uphold the law, was revealed as one of the most prolific predators in American history. In 2020, DeAngelo pleaded guilty to 13 murders and admitted to dozens of rapes and burglaries. He was sentenced to life in prison without parole. For the survivors, it was justice long delayed but finally delivered. For law enforcement, it was proof of a new reality. You can run from justice. You can hide for decades. But in the end, DNA never forgets.